Hello and welcome back to another episode of Health Unplugged Previews. This is Katalin and my guest today is Irena Macri, author of Eat Drink Paleo Cookbook and the voice behind the popular Eat Drink Paleo website and blog. Hi, how are you? Welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me. Hello.
Hi, so for those who are new in our audience, can you just tell a little bit about yourself and about your own paleo story?
Sure. So my name is Irena and I got into paleo maybe 5 years ago now. So it would have been 2011, something like that. And I got introduced to paleo through friends. And at the time I thought, oh my God, this sounds crazy. What do you mean you can't have bread and pasta, all my favorite foods. But at the same time, because, it was just after I turned 30 and I thought, I was kind of interested in finding a more natural way of eating and moving and lifestyle, because as you get to your 30s, you don't have as much energy and, you start feeling a little bit tired in the mornings and you start to put on weight and all the usual kind of, aging processes happen. So I thought I'd give it a try and I did, and I felt fantastic after a few weeks of sort of transitioning into paleo. And I love to cook, and so I started cooking paleo meals and dishes at home because it was a lot easier than eating out and trying to find the food that you can eat. And my friends kept saying, you should start a food blog, you cook so well. So I thought, okay, I'll start a little food blog. And I looked around for other paleo websites and paleo recipes online, and I couldn't find that many in Australia back then. And this is obviously a few years ago. Now it's completely changed, and there are like hundreds of them, right? So, so there wasn't enough in terms of resources and recipe websites in Australia. Everything was coming from the US. So I thought maybe I'll start an Australian-focused site for Australian audience, and I did that, but little did I know that it actually became very international. And, within 6 months, it grew really quickly. And I had audience and readers from US and America, in Canada, UK, Australia, non-English speaking countries as well. And they loved what I was putting up. And, I did some photography at school, so I was taking really nice pictures. And, I obviously cook well. So they loved my recipes, and it sort of started going from being a hobby to turning into a bit of a full-time job. And so, when I started the blog, I quit my corporate job because, it was making me stressed and unhealthy. I was, constantly not sleeping well and working way too many hours and resenting my job, which is just not good for your soul at all. So I kind of saw this as a way out. And I'll be talking about this on one of the panels at Health Unplugged, is about the sort of the exit strategy and how to follow your passion. And so I did that without actually knowing whether I'm going to make any money from this. It was still kind of a hobby, but I just thought I'll give it a go. If nothing works, I can always go back to my job, right? So I did that for 12 months, and then I decided to make a cookbook, again, because there weren't that many in Australia, and even around the world at the time, it was still kind of new, sort of the paleo cookbooks. And I decided to do a crowdfunding campaign, and my audience helped me to fund my book. And it was my first cookbook, Eat Drink Paleo, which was self-published at the time. And then after about a year and a half, it got picked up by Penguin in Australia. And they decided to publish it under their umbrella. And I'll show you the book, actually.
Yeah.
Ta-da!
Wow. Nice.
I don't know if it's back to front, but so that's the cookbook. And it's now published in, 10 countries, or getting translated to all different languages. Obviously, it's available in the UK, and I'll probably have some copies at Health Unplugged as well, if anybody wants to come and have a look.
What other languages do you have? Because we have quite an international audience here.
We've got, I believe, Spanish and Dutch, Czech or Hungarian. One of the two is coming out. Obviously, it's in the States, Germany, and I think German covers Austria and Switzerland, Portuguese. Yeah, I think that's it's quite a few. So they're all coming out around sort of now. And yeah, so I mean, that became really successful, and then kind of cemented me as I suppose, like a pretty, like a solid figure in the paleo community in Australia and around the world. Yeah, and then, then I have another book coming out, and I'm doing lots of great projects and collaborations with other people, and yeah, absolutely love the community. And that's how I got to it. Sorry, it's a really long story. You might want to, I can give you a quicker version if you like. But
no,
yeah.
I like your story, so it's very impressive, and I think a lot of people has something to get from it, to learn from it, and especially the part of your exit strategy, which a lot of us are struggling with, So it's very interesting.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, if anybody has any questions and you're going to be at Health Unplugged, obviously come to that session, because whether you speak to me personally or during the panel session, I've got lots of valuable tips and insights, because I've been doing this for 4 or 5 years now. So
yeah. And how did you first get involved with Health Unplugged?
Health Unplugged, well, this is an interesting story, because I met Daryl. He was one of the first people that I met in the UK when I moved. And I basically emailed him and I said, all right, so what's going on in the paleo community here? Like, do you guys have any meetups? Do you do any kind of, things? And he's like, you know what? No, we actually don't have any we have a meetup group, but we haven't done any events. And him and I got together over a cup of tea and a burger, and a bunless burger, that is. And we just started chatting, and we really got along well, and we had the same passion about sort of real food and wellness, and we put a little event together, which was about 40 people, and we had a few speakers, and we had such good feedback from that, and everybody said they would be interested in doing a bigger event or coming to a bigger event. And so last year I said to Daryl, look, you should do a big, like, one-day conference. And we even came up with the name together. But it's his baby, and and he's got a team now, like, that puts it all together. But my involvement was basically, I kind of really encouraged him to sort of try and put that together. And so I spoke at the event last year, and this year I'm really looking forward to it again, because it's bigger and there are more panel discussions, there are cooking presentations, lots of new people that didn't come last year, speakers-wise. So I think it's going to be a really, really fun weekend, also the 2-day event that,
Yeah, it sounds like a very fun event. I cannot wait to be there. It's it's less than 20 days now. It's like 15.
Oh my gosh, I better start fermenting the food.
Yeah.
I'm bringing some stuff that I've obviously I'm going to ferment and show a few different things that you can ferment. And I'm doing sauerkraut, and I do mine. I do all different types of sauerkraut, but this one I'm going to do with lemongrass and turmeric, which is very nourishing. And turmeric has lots of anti-inflammatory properties. And I think I'll do kefir as well, because it's a very nourishing dairy food, which is much better digested than just plain milk. And I'll do probably something like cultured cashew cream cheese dip, to show that you still can have something like cheese, which is a fermented food as well, but without the dairy. So I'll just show you how to make these, and I'll bring some things to show that, because I have to make some of them ahead of time, obviously. But yeah, it'll be really hands-on. You can ask me lots of questions about how I do it. It's really fuss-free. Homemade method. So I think people that have never done fermenting before will probably get lots out of it, just because they get to see how it's done and they can ask questions.
Yeah. And how about your other sessions? You are involved at least like 7 of them, as far as I counted. I
think there are quite a few. They're really using me up. I'm doing mainly panel discussions this year. So I think I'm doing one on paleo cooking tricks and tips, which will be basically me and a few other food and cooking related speakers, and we'll talk about everything to do with paleo cooking, whether it's substituting classic meals of pasta and pizza with paleo equivalents, or utilizing certain ingredients in dishes, nose to tail cooking. Basically any questions that people have, they can ask, and we'll answer basically. Then I'm talking on one about the paleo meals for children. or paleo, snacks and lunches and ideas for the lunch boxes. I think that will be quite interesting because I get a lot of questions about that on my own Facebook page. And, people, how do you transition kids into paleo? Should you transition them into paleo? Should they be gluten-free from, when they're little? What do you put in their lunchbox? Things like that. So there'll be a few speakers and we'll just be throwing ideas around, I think. Another one is the getting out of the rat race, which is about kind of how do you pursue your passion. And it doesn't have to be paleo, by the way. So if you're not, it's not just about how to become a paleo blogger. It's about taking your hobby, taking something you love and trying to turn it into a business and, exiting the kind of corporate world if you don't want to be in it anymore, sort of kind of showing you different strategies around that. And I think I'm doing, I'm a panel facilitator for Weight Loss Mastermind. And I think that will be really, really, really cool because we'll be talking about all the different pitfalls of dieting and, what is the best way to lose weight, to maintain healthy weight. Is it a paleo diet? Is it a really low-carb paleo? Is it ketogenic? Is it intermittent fasting? Is it just finding what works for you? Is it sleeping better? I mean, there are so many different factors. So I think that will be really interesting and lots of debates, I'm sure, because there are different views on that. So I think that would be a really cool one. And final one, but really important, and that is living the paleo lifestyle. And I guess this panel is about going beyond food because when you talk about paleo, primal, or ancestral kind of way of eating, we focus so much on the diet aspect, but there is so much behind the scenes that is going on that's even more important, and that includes your sleep and quality of sleep. It includes fitness and exercise and the types of exercises that you do. For me, I'm a very avid hiker and rock climber. And so I spend a lot of time outdoors and I try to sort of plan my holidays around active kind of things. And, I really prioritize my sleep. It's also about taking time off technology. It's getting enough sunshine. There's lots of little lifestyle aspects. So I think the presenters on that panel will be discussing their own strategies and tactics and what they do outside of just the diet kind of pyramid to maintain their wellness and health. So I think that would be a really good one to attend as well. So I think that's it, but I'll be around as well. I think there'll be book signings and lunch and be chatting to everybody. So it's a very
it sounds like a very active 2 days for you as well, and very busy schedule on your part. But hopefully you will have some time to check out the other presentations as well. So who are you looking forward to listening to at the event?
Oh, there are so many. I'm really interested in sort of wild food and foraging. So Owen will be really cool to see. Obviously, there'll be some live links from the US, which I think will be really interesting because that's kind of the one time you get to see the big guns come out and you can kind of see them in person and ask questions. I'm going to try and see as many as I can, to be honest. So I don't have any specific kind of favorites, but there are certain topics that I'm interested in. So even some fitness and movement workshops, I think that would be really cool to go and see as well, just to get moving, if nothing else, not to see it the whole time, but yeah.
Yeah, so, and you are right now in London, right? So you won't have to travel from all the way from Australia.
No, well, not jet lagged.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah. Okay, and where can people go to find out more about you and your work? Of course, apart from coming to Health Unplugged.
Sure. I have my main website is eatdrinkpaleo.com.au, or you can find me on Facebook, Eat Drink Paleo. I'm also on Instagram, if that's your way of sort of staying connected. I'm on Twitter. So you can search for Irena Macri or Eat Drink Paleo and you'll find something. I've also got a website called Rejuvenated for Life, which I run with a friend of mine who's a nutritionist. And it's where we talk a little bit more about nutrition and lifestyle, not just recipes. But if you just want to get into healthy cooking, then definitely jump on Eat Drink Paleo. I've got 200 free recipes in all different categories. So you'll find something that you'll love. And do come and chat to me. My book's available in the UK in stores and on Amazon as well. So just look up Eat Drink Paleo and you'll find me.
Yeah, so it's a nice opportunity for all of us to come to London and see you and meet you in person and have a chat with you about all these very interesting topics. So I'm really looking forward to see you in London soon. And for the audience out there, if you would like to find out more details and look at the whole schedule of the event, then you can go to healthunplugged.co.uk, where you can buy your tickets too. And it's still not too late to do that, even though it's only a couple of days left.
Yeah.
So, and Irena, you can go to start your ferments now, right?
I know. I'm actually, I have to go to a health food store to pick up a few things, but I am doing it today. I'm not lying. So do come. It's going to be lots of fun. So I was there last year, so I can vouch for it. It's extremely insightful, and you're going to learn lots and lots. And you meet lots of like-minded people, and I think that's the most sort of valuable thing out of it, is that you can kind of see that you're not alone on this journey, and there are loads of other people who are into the same thing as you are. So
build a community, talk the same language, and all these like-minded people.
Absolutely.
Okay, so.
Cool. Thanks for having me.
Thank you. Is there anything else you wanted to say, or any parting thoughts at this point?
I talk too much, so I think I've exhausted my YouTube time. So.
No, it's all good. So thank you so much, Irena, for this interview, and cannot wait to see you in London very soon now. Thank you.
Absolutely. Bye.
Bye-bye.